Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Lee Judges TV. Obviously, you know the score now that I do the thing with BetVictor, and listen, it was an interesting debate. I wasn't on the show this week, but Boovy was, who's a Manchester City fan. This is what he said about Spurs and what he believes was going to happen with their championship hopes, because a lot of people at the moment are thinking that Tottenham are title contenders. This is what Boovy had to say. I kind of agree with him.
Well, there were two factors for me that I thought Spurs, if they were going to challenge, they've got a kind of unique quality about them. And the first factor is the world-class sort of talent of forward-line players that you have, Son and Kane. And they went missing against Chelsea. Obviously, Kane was through on goal. Really, really poor finish. And there are moments where, you know, you're thinking of Thierry Henry, Sergio Aguero, Mohamed Salah. These guys would have scored that goal and they would have won 1-0 and Spurs would have picked up a win. No, seriously, but that... Yeah, no, I've got to be real. I saw
you're the ref, lad. Listen to it. Listen to it talk rubbish about your club guy.
Yeah, I saw a video of you saying Harry Kane's the greatest striker in Premier League history. This guy didn't even hit the target. He scuffed a simple opportunity. I'm thinking if you're going to try and win a Premier League title, you need to be grinding these wins out with better finishes than that. The second factor for me is you're trying to change the game. You know, Chelsea get back into the game and you bring Richarlison on. You bring Perisic on, who was ineffective. So your squad depth looked better on paper, but you're bringing on Richarlison, who couldn't hold on to the ball. He had about 5 touches where it went astray, and then your best player, apparently the best striker in Premier League history, according to you, scuffed a very, very simple opportunity, and he doesn't give you that goal where you should be beating Chelsea on, you know, based on the chances you had. So for me, it's classic Spurs. It's classic Spurs. You're happy to be involved. You're happy to get appointed at Stamford Bridge. You're happy to be in the party.
Hi guys, welcome to Lee Judges TV. We are here first of all, of course, for the Bournemouth Arsenal match preview. But Lee, going on the BetVictor clip, my bet says Tottenham ain't going to be challenging titles this season. My bet says that Arsenal are going to be winning the league.
Yeah, I've said that.
I've got £500 coming. So, what do you think about that clip there?
Yeah, like, you know, things I agree with. I'm gonna say it. I don't know what Mark feels. I watched the game and I thought Spurs were really, really poor. Chelsea played really, really well. Much better than what I thought they was going to be. To be honest, after watching them in Orlando in the pre-season and then against Everton. I thought they really, really played well and should have probably been 3 or 4, maybe 2 or 3 up by half time and probably should have won the game. And let's face it, if it weren't for poor refereeing, which we've already heard today from Mr. Mike Dean saying he got it wrong. Not the first time you're going to hear that in his career that he got it wrong. It's just an absolute joke of a decision. It would have ended up being 2-1 and. You know, listen, the other thing I like to say that, you know, talking about Harry Kane there, no one said it yet, but ball wasn't even going in. It's going wide, you know what I mean? It's been helped in, and all of a sudden, because it's Harry Kane, we give him that, you know what I mean? So Saka scored against Crystal Palace as far as I'm concerned, you know, but, you know, that's what we're saying. So from my point of view, I think Spurs are definitely going to be up there. Are they in the same league as Manchester City? No. But... You know, I'm going to say this now. I've watched Liverpool in the last couple of games. I've watched Liverpool twice this season so far, and they've not been as good as what I thought they were going to be. So it's going to be a very interesting battle for top 4. Yeah. I think the title is going to be won at a counter, if I'll be honest. But I think the other places are going to be a little bit tighter than what people are predicting.
Yeah, mark yourself in that clip for BetVictor. What do you think of Tottenham's title challenging hopes?
Yeah, well, there's 2 ways of looking at what happened at the bridge. There's the fact that Tottenham was supposed to be good and title contenders. I don't know what they've done to achieve that. I mean, I guess it's because all their eggs in this season's basket with Conte. You know, we know he don't stay very long. They've backed him a little bit in the market, I guess. But the worrying thing for me is that Tottenham kind of out-dirtied and out-dark-arts Chelsea in their own backyard. So there's 2 ways of looking at that. Tottenham didn't win, possibly against a uncohesioned Chelsea side that's still being built in the window with 17 days to go, or whatever it is. And they didn't blow them away like Jamie O'Hara thought they were going to do with their best opportunity to do. But equally, that is a fixture that they would have lost in the last 3 or 4 years, and they didn't. So that's ominous. But obviously, what is also more ominous and frightening is that Man City notoriously do not start seasons well. And I think they have, haven't they?
Yeah,
so, you know, Liverpool are already playing catch up, and so is the rest of the league, really. So, yeah, that's, I mean, you do well. I mean, what are you going to get on Man City to win the league this season? If you put £1 on, you probably get 98p back. Do you know what I mean? It's theirs to lose, isn't it, with the addition of Haaland? So City to run away and Tottenham to come fifth.
Okay, that's good. I can hear that. You can have a lot of cheese if Tottenham comes fifth. You're going to be celebrating with a whole bunch of cheese.
I have a lot of cheese, whatever, Dave. That makes no odds to me. There's one thing I don't allow my football club to affect in my life. It can affect my mood and it can affect my weekends, but it certainly does not affect my cheese consumption.
And don't forget, guys, we've got all the Glasses gang today.
Glasses gang. Yeah. We just better say that we better mention that Dan's not here because he's out for the night, you know what I mean? So we've not sacked him or anything like that. Let's just get that correct out there. Like that.
Has he made his way down to Bournemouth already? He's making an extended break of it, and I think he's already.
I think he's gone down in with you with his mum and dad, isn't he? I think he's down
on the south coast, sunning himself in the.
I think like they're going to the game, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're going to the game, and I think they've gone down there for a bit of a break, like, you know. So
he's down there. He's on a scouting. He's scouting the training sessions apparently.
And if you've not been to Bournemouth before, definitely go there. It's a lovely part of the world.
Not better than the rest of Europe. I mean, Mediterranean. I'll take any day over Bournemouth.
No. All right, then part of Britain. No, I get that. But
South Coast Riviera, isn't it? You know, that's where that's the millionaire row, isn't it?
You get the sun in Bournemouth, you're all right.
Where's that row of houses they call it? What's that? Where Harry Redknapp lives? There's a row of houses down there. There's nothing under 10
Sandbanks.
Sandbanks. Sandbanks.
Very, very nice. Been there a few times and. Very, very nice. And I'll tell you what, the beach, Bournemouth Beach is stunning, you know. So you're out of order saying that, Dave, you know what I mean? Just because you've got half Spanish in you.
I'm from Skegness, mate. That's what I'm from.
Skegness. Well, it's a little bit better than Skegness, I think. And it's certainly better.
Skegnito Dave. Yeah. Chucking the boat
got a fantastic beach. And it's a nice place to go for a week. I actually went there a couple of years ago. Because when the pandemic was like for my birthday, I had a birthday weekend down there, and it was very, very nice. So you're out of order saying that, Dave. And
I will retract that comment.
Take that back. It was in one of those, you know, those sort of like old-fashioned hotels, you know, and it was really nice. And because of the pandemic, you had to book the pool. No, you had to book the pool.
And you had sponsored by BetVictor, weren't we? Not Trivago.
Yeah, no, but you had the swimming pool. All to yourself. So you booked it for an hour and you had that whole swimming pool to yourself. I felt like a star walking in there, like, you know, Mr. Judges, here's your hour for the swimming pool, like, you know. So just done your thing. Great.
We are available.
Well, let us know your comments on that.
By the way, if Trivago are interested in sponsoring us, we are available.
That's it.
We are, yeah.
Yeah, Lee will get these top of these tan on his head, and then Trivago will come and sponsor the whole podcast.
Listen,
he could be Trivago's answer to Lenny Henry, couldn't he?
Yeah. So, well, if you've been to Bournemouth, guys, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know in the comments what you think. Like, you know,
and that moves us.
I want to know what you think. I want to know what you think, Lee. Sorry, Dave, I've just jumped in there, but I want to know what you think, Lee, about the ground down there. Smallest ground in the league, isn't it?
Yeah, smallest ground in the league. I'm going to say I think it's one of the best grounds to go and visit as an away fan. You get right close to the players, right close to the pitch. Great atmosphere there. I don't know if it is still, but it was the last time I was down. It was £1 to park in their car park, which is about 2 minutes away from the ground. Like, you know,
almost 30 years ago.
No, Dave. It was a couple of years ago. The last time we actually,
1987 was the first time we played down there, wasn't it, Lee?
something like that. Like the last time we played there,
Yeah.
if you remember rightly, I think I'm going to say this now, was the FA Cup when we won 4-0 in the pandemic. I might be wrong.
No, it weren't 4-0. I think it was a close game. You're thinking of
Was
the 5-1.
it 2-1? I'm thinking of the Portsmouth game. I think it was 2-1 or something.
5-1, yeah. We beat them 5-1. That's the biggest score against them. Do you know what? 5-1.
When I go to games, sometimes I can't remember the bloody score, but if it's on telly, I remember it straight away. It's a weird one. But yeah, I think we went there in the cup. It was a Monday night, if I remember rightly, and we won. And this is unbelievable. This is the first, I think, first time in a long while, Bournemouth we're playing sort of like August. In a nice sunny. Like the last few times we played, there'd been January and February. Of course, I ain't going to this one. It's in August, So there you go.
Yeah. Well, that moves us swiftly on to Bournemouth and the match preview between Bournemouth and Arsenal. Of course, Arsenal got their first 2 victories of the season, both of you guys. And it seems like there's been very promising play from Arsenal. I mean, I've been looking at them personally as a neutral, and I'm actually loving the way they're playing. Apart from certain, obviously, frailties of defense, that's can't go amiss, obviously, when the team is still gelling together, especially with Saliba coming into the team. So, Mark, I'm going to start with you. Bournemouth versus Arsenal. What's your expectations of this match from Arsenal, the team itself?
5-0.
Okay.
5-0.
Really?
That's a straight answer. I thought he was going to give us a nice long answer here.
We're going to pummel them. They got a surprise result for me against Aston Villa. I didn't see that coming, but then I'm not entirely convinced on what Gerrard's doing there at Villa with bringing Coutinho in. It grabbed some headlines, didn't it? But he's disappeared again, hasn't he? But yeah, I mean, I had a little look, obviously. This is not just thrown together, this show. We do some research. And I have looked at Bournemouth's pre-season games, and they were awful, woeful. Lost to Braga, lost to Bristol City, lost to Real Sociedad. Did manage a win against Sheffield Wednesday. Well done, you. And then got stuffed 4-0 by Manchester City. And I fancy us to be just as ruthless. They've signed the lad I'm interested to watch is the boy they've got in at the back. He's a new summer signing. They've made 5 changes this summer. But they've got one lad who I don't suppose he was on our radar because, we're sort of top heavy or loaded in that position. At centre half, Argentinian, 25, 6'1". In, what's his name now? You come in, Marcus Senesi from Feyenoord, played in last season's Conference Cup final, Europa Team 2 Bob Bit Cup thing. And he looks a good player, so I'm interested to see how he gets on up against Jesus. But he ain't been here 5 minutes, and this could be too much for him, the way we were attacking. But I like Bournemouth as a club. I like Scott Parker as a man. I liked him as a player. He was an honest professional, do you know what I mean? And I think it is what it is. But I think, when you look at the spending, Forest, who have come up again, I said it last week, I don't know what's happened to Wolves, but again today, Forest have nicked one of their bright young talents off them for £44 million. So that's their 15th summer signing, Nottingham Forest. They're going out large to stay up, and they probably will. Bournemouth are, for me, favourites to go.
Mark's completely
down there in the sunshine, on the sunshine south coast. This needs to be party time for us. We need to bang some goals in.
Do you think it's obviously going to be a confidence booster for the team if they can score a lot of goals? Obviously, we're running a poll, guys, at the moment. If you see in the right-hand side of the chat, we're running a poll on how many points do you think Arsenal are going to accumulate over the next 5 games. Obviously, 15, 13, 11, below 12, sorry. So if you can obviously put your answer in the poll, and then I'm going to head to lead judges on this expectations of this match. Of course, Bournemouth got absolutely pummeled by Man City, as Mark said, and we all saw that match. De Bruyne, outstanding performance in that game. But who do you think is going to be kind of the main focal points for Arsenal? I mean, who do you think are going to be the main players, Lee, that you can look at in this match? Do you think Saliba will get should get a confidence boost after the on goal against Leicester. I mean, who do you think is going to be the focal points for Arsenal?
Same team. Be interested, of course, to be a little bit of focus on Aaron Ramsdale because he's going back to one of his old clubs in Bournemouth. So that'd be interesting to see what's going to happen there. But I actually see, I'm with Mark. I think our firepower will be too much for him on this game. If we play to our ability, firepower and movement. I know we conceded a couple of goals against Leicester, but some of the football we played was sublime. It was really, really good to watch. It was fast, quick. Interchanging was fantastic. Jesus was unplayable. If he carries on playing like that, we should be okay in this game. And I think that we've got to defend well. I think that realistically, it's pressure for places now. I'm going to say it. You know what I mean? Saliba's got to play well because he'll have Ben White slotting in there if he doesn't. Ben White's got to play well because Tomiyasu now is fit and raring to go. Zinchenko's got to play really well because if he doesn't, you've got Tierney to come back in there. So I think there's really options all about. So I think that the only one you would say might be safe there is Gabriel, but I'm convinced that Tierney can play there as well. So I don't think that there's anybody guaranteed. So look, that defence has got to shape up and make sure it doesn't concede too many goals over the next few games. So we've got 3 games coming up now. I'm going to be honest about it. The 2 hardest games we've played, Crystal Palace away, Leicester at home. I think, Bournemouth's going to be tough because it's away from home. But, if Manchester City were going there, Tottenham are going there, or Chelsea are going there, you're expecting those teams to win. So that is important that we're in that same category. We've got to go there and get the job done. I totally expect us to do that. And because of the players that we've got. And so I feel it'd be an important game for us to get a win. I'm not so convinced it'd be 4 like Mark's saying, but I do think that we'll get at least 2 goals. And I think that we're being we've got to go into this. We've got to go into these 5 games, Dave, and coming out with 15 points and really pushing.
Well, including Manchester United, yeah. Obviously,
including Man United. Well, Man United. Look, we actually take on Man United on the 4th. Once the transfer window's closed. So Manchester United in 2 weeks' time can be a different animal, similar to what we was last season. You know what I mean? We was in this position, 3 games gone, and then we had the international break, and then we had the transfer window finishing, and we come back slightly different. So listen, I take one game at a time. Bournemouth's the first game. But we get through these 3 games and then we assess where we are as far. Most important is that we get 15 points and then we can assess where we are as far as transfers is concerned. I still think we need to bring in a couple more. And then what we can do then is look at what Man United have got going into that game and see where we are. Listen, Man United, beat Liverpool on Sunday. They're above Liverpool and, Manchester United are in crisis. So, at this moment in time, I'm taking it as a batch of 3. We forget about the Man United game at the moment. Let's get the 9 points in the next 3 games, and then we can assess what we can do at Man United. But I think it's very, very important that we put in a performance against Bournemouth because I think what I'm seeing at the moment, I think we can all agree, is a very much a feel-good atmosphere at Arsenal at the moment. But it's still not on what I would say safe footings and foundations because I've the documentary's out showing you the failures of last season at this moment in time. So it is an important time that Arsenal continue this positive road. And if we was to win 3 or 4-0 on Saturday, I don't think we will. But if we was to do that, that would be a massive, massive statement. Massive statement.
Yeah, especially going into the run of games and obviously. Everybody is still going off of 15 points. Everybody's wanting that 15 points. I think Arsenal will be in a very strong position for the rest of the season if they do gain 15 points from the next 5 games. So, Mark, from obviously looking at Bournemouth and Arsenal, who are you looking to in the Arsenal side to actually show, what they're really made of coming in the next match? And obviously in the forthcoming matches, in the next 5 matches as well. Who's the player that you're looking to actually make a statement? Obviously, Lee's talking about a couple of players to make a statement. Who's the person that you're looking to?
Yeah, Odegaard, captain, got the armband. So I know he's played well. He has played well. He's been an integral part of the team. But yeah, Odegaard, I'm looking for him to sort of start turning the screw. Saka would be nice. He's started the season well. I think this is the sort of game where Emile Smith-Rowe should be getting a look in. You'd expect him to be able to turn up if he's fit. And these are also the sort of games where, we could possibly be looking at Thomas Partey, Granit Xhaka, resting one of them. I don't necessarily need. This is the sort of game where we need that additional protection. At some point, you're going to have to remove that safety net and say we don't need 2 international holding defensive midfield players.
Yeah,
I mean, I get that it's a system, but for me, I'd like to see Zinchenko play there maybe, and
let's see any slot in the left back.
Yeah. Let's see if he's back and fit. This would be a good opportunity to give him a start and put Zinchenko in there. And
he's played there before. Zinchenko's played there before.
Well, he plays there for Ukraine, doesn't he, all the time?
Yeah,
I know people are going to say, well, he's a left back playing in midfield, so it ain't that much adventurous. No, it isn't. I'm not asking him to rip up the tactic book. I'm not asking him to reinvent the system. I'm just saying that Thomas Partey, we know, is a big player. You see how we fell away at the end of last season when he wasn't available. And to remove him from certain games would not necessarily be a bad thing. And I know people will say, well, look, he should be able to play week in, week out, especially at the start of the season when we've only got 1 game a week. And I get all that. I get that. But we're not looking to, I'd like to think that Saliba and Gabriel and Ben White and Tierney and Ramsdale can keep hold of this Bournemouth front line. Now, I mean, Solanke, who's their star player, a very good player, was a Liverpool fringe player, but he's gone down there, scored a lot of goals in the Championship. But I'm not sure that he's going to make this game. He's having a late fitness test to see if he's actually fit and available. So if he's not, then they haven't really got a lot that we should be worrying about. So, I just want us to get up the pitch a bit more and put another attacking option on, Smith-Rowe, and maybe drop Odegaard into a number 8 and go at him a bit more. So, I mean, again, Jesus, you know what I mean? When we played them before, I think we beat them 2-1. They scored a last-minute winner, last-minute consolation goal. We come out the trap, so we've got it down here. We scored 6 minutes, Saka and Eddie after 26 minutes. Game over. It's game over. 26 minutes, game over. If that happens this time, and we're 3-0 up half time, I'd be taking Jesus off and putting Eddie Nketiah out there and saying 45 minutes.
Well, give him a good chance to prove himself a little bit.
Give him his run, and we don't need to risk blowing out Jesus. Now he'll come off. He'll be fuming because he'll fancy goals, golden boot, which is great again because then he's going to start the next game pissed off. And that's what you want from a competitive squad. But you've got to give the lad game time, and this. I want to see us blow this team away like we did last time, 2 or 3-0 up inside the first half, and then we can start thinking about the next game and giving people minutes, which they need competitive minutes, because it's tough. You play your pre-season games and then you get underway in the Premier League and these lads don't get a look in, So I don't know.
That would be the perfect scenario, wouldn't it? That would be the perfect scenario.
Well, and it should happen, Lee. It should happen.
Yeah. I see.
What are you looking about the competition in this squad, Lee? You're looking for more competition, isn't it?
Yeah, well, of course you want more competition. I totally agree with Mark what we're saying here. I think that maybe we could actually rest Thomas Partey probably in one of the home games. If not, as you say, if you're 3-0 up, 25 minutes to go, get him off. And the reason is because he's vital to our cause, and we don't want him getting injured. So I think that they've got to do that. And that's why I think we've got to get in somebody else in midfield because of that role. But El Neni can come on and do it there for 20-25 minutes in a game. I've got no problems with that if we're winning comfortably. I like to think that it will go like that, but I don't see it going like that. I think it'd be a lot tougher because we're away from home. Maybe at home we could blow a few teams away, with our home games coming up. But do you know what? I'm going to say that I think the next 3 games are all winnable games. They're all going to be tough games, but I expect us to win them. But I don't expect us to be running away with any of them. I think it'll be difficult. But I do agree with Mark there. I do feel that we've just got to be a little bit careful of Partey, because he is. I think.
There's a few players went down last weekend, Lee, weren't there? Just to jump in there, the Aston Villa lad, centre half, big part of their season's plans.
Yeah.
He's done an ACL. He's going to be out for 6 or 7 or 8 months. Vast majority of the season. When he comes back, it's going to take time to get up to speed. If that happens to Thomas Partey,
we're in trouble.
We ain't going to finish top 4. Unless we go out and spend £80 million on a replacement. So we need to manage these lads. Do you know what I mean? And I know they do, Lee. Do you know what I mean? I know their doctors are on them. They know if they're on the edge, they're in the red. All these things they talk about.
Yeah,
they know. But before it gets to that point, I'd like to have somebody who's up to speed, ready to come in. Do you know what I mean?
I'm with you on that. And the thing is, and I think again, it's learning from lessons, isn't it? Because I do feel that after watching that documentary, the reason we didn't get top 4 was because Thomas Partey and Tierney got injured.
Yes,
we replaced Tierney with Zinchenko. We've done that, but we haven't done it with Partey yet. We've not gone in there and got the Partey replacement if anything goes wrong. And if they don't do that, it will cost us. And that is a shocking decision from the club. When someone
they're going to do it, are they?
Well, I'll be disappointed if they don't. Look, listen, when a club like Nottingham Forest have come up from the Championship are outspending us, then I'm then going to start looking at the board and the owners and saying, look, come on, what is going on here? We're in a very, very good position at the moment, and I grant that we've got to get the right players in. But you've had since Crystal Palace away when we went 3-0 down to know that we needed a midfield player in that position to just cover Partey, because at the end of the day, I think that we're covered in a lot of other areas, if I'll be honest. The right back looks like it's covered quite well. Left back is, central defence is, up front is, wide players are. The one that's not is that Thomas Partey one. As you can say, if Granit Xhaka got injured, Zinchenko can go there. There's other options that can go there. Odegaard could go there. There's options all around. Even in Odegaard's position, you could go Smith Rowe or Vieira or someone like that. The one player that we have not got real quality backup for, Thomas Partey.
I see that. Yeah, I see that. But looking at Arsenal overall, I mean, I looked at the first 2 games. The style of play I think it's just vastly improved from what I saw last season. And obviously throughout pre-season towards the first 2 games. I'm liking the fluidity of the team. Lee, from looking at the matches, obviously in the stadium and going to the games itself, what are you making of kind of Arteta's kind of the style he's trying to implement for this season? And it's some of the football is brilliant that Arsenal are playing.
Yeah,
I have to admit.
He's done really well. I've loved the way that he sort of got the fans involved, even with his team talks, saying that you've got to get the fans on board. And listen, before the game kicked off on Saturday, I was confident that we'd beat Leicester, even though Leicester are a decent side. I just felt that we've got players now that are exciting, and I think that when you've got exciting footballers, the crowd will be excited. I think that we've had dull football over the last couple of years because we've gone possession based, but we just haven't had the right players in the right positions, and it's just not been exciting. But I've been excited by Saliba, I've been excited by Jesus, I've been excited by Zinchenko, and then I've also been excited by players like Martinelli, because of what Jesus is doing, has just opened up the game for him a little bit. I also think the way we're playing, has opened it up for Granit Xhaka as well, because he seems to be pushing a little bit more forward now. The reason he can push a bit forward is because teams are dropping off, because they know that we've got things now that can hurt. I honestly think if I was a central defender last season, I'm going to go into my hotel room on Friday night and sleep really well, because I know I'm not going to get out muscled or outpaced by someone like Lacazette.
Yeah. True.
Now, when I go,
Jesus.
if I was playing now, you've got Jesus who can out-muscle you, out-do anything there. So there's more problems. There's more problems for defenders going into games against Arsenal, and that's why I feel very, very comfortable that and confident that we can get results. Look, I said we'd beat Palace. I knew we'd beat Palace. I said it. I said 2-0 because of the players we got, and I'm going to say it now. I think we'll beat Bournemouth as well. And if we don't, I will be very, very disappointed. And this is where for me now, it's great what Mikel's doing. You can't help but not like the guy, the way he's doing all things, but still he's accountable. This is where it starts now. These games, this is where he earns his corn. Not so much the big games, these games, because every player's up for the big games, but these games here, when you're expected to win, you're expected to do the right things. There's a pressure with that of expecting to win games of football. Don't let the crowd down. Don't let the fans down. Don't let themselves get the job done. And I think Arsenal will.
Yeah, Mark, on Arsenal, kind of like trying to reinvigorate themselves, get the old Arsenal flair back. What are you thinking of the kind of the style of Arsenal at the moment, how they're playing? Like even for the rest of the season, like the outlook on the rest of the season, how do you think it's going to pan out? Obviously, due to like what Arteta's trying to do.
Yeah, well, it's great. Like Lee talks about the connection between the fans and the players, and that's what we all love. And that stems from the young lads, from the higher end boys, come through the academy. We have automatic connection with them, and we've brought in some other young lads. We've got that Brazilian connection, and we all know Edu. Again, like Scotty Parker, he was a lot like him. Model professional, worked his socks off for the team, massive team player. And he's still doing that now. We see he's working 24 hours a day. The phone's ringing through the night. He's answering it, getting up, making flights on Ryanair to Villarreal. We can all feel that. We all respect that. And we're all on board with this team, aren't we, going forward? The key thing to the whole thing, Dave, is going to be what we lacked last year. And that is, unfortunately, a price that you have to pay when you integrate youth into your team. Is inconsistency, and that is what that youthfulness brings: energy and enthusiasm, but it will also bring wrong decision making, which in the big games will cost you, and inconsistency. And so this season, bringing in Zinchenko and Jesus and bringing Saliba back, who's now had another season away, played Marseille, played for France. These experiences, and what we're hoping is that these boys are now at a stage where they can get some consistency going. That's the key to it, is consistency. I mean, I'm looking at the fixtures. I don't see us losing a game in August or September.
I was going to move on to that. Yeah, conveniently enough.
I think we'll get obviously 1st of October is Derby Day.
Yeah,
and if we get through that without defeat. Hopefully we win. That's what we want, to beat those down the road. I think we'll be marching on. But I say I don't expect us to play a game and not get something out of it till October.
Yeah, I wanted to say. I mean, if the team does get, let's say, 15 to 18 points from like next 6 games, for example. So we're looking at Bournemouth, Fulham, Aston Villa, Man United, Everton, and Brentford before the North London derby.
Yeah,
it could potentially be a whitewash if Arsenal keep the thing. I mean, obviously, it's tough to say that. We don't know what's going to happen in football. I mean, you can have injuries here. You can't predict it.
Football's a funny old game. Do you know what I mean? You can be the best team in the game for 90 minutes and end up losing it with stupid VAR decision and stuff like that. It's not always in your hands. You've got to have lady luck. I think luck's a massive thing with football.
Yeah, I think Brentford will be a tougher way. But obviously, so we're running the poll at the moment. Let me see what everybody's thinking. 15 points, 60%. 19% say 13 points. 16% say 12 points, and below 12 points, only 5%. So people are quite optimistic in the chat itself, which is really good to hear. But you guys, next 5 games, let's go through. Lee, Bournemouth win for Arsenal?
Yeah, I think we'll win. I think I'll take, as I say, I'll take a win. A win against Bournemouth, a win against win home games. Don't care what anybody says. Got to win your home games, you know.
Fulham home game, yeah.
Then Aston Villa, draw at Man United, beat Everton, beat Brentford.
Brentford. Okay. Mark, Bournemouth obviously win for you. Said earlier.
Yeah.
Fulham win for you.
Win.
Yeah. Aston Villa at home.
Aston Villa, yeah, win.
Yeah. Man United away at Old Trafford.
3-0.
That's very optimistic. That's good. Ten Hag will be definitely be 10 packs of bloody whatever. I don't know what he's going to order.
Eric 10. It'll be Eric nil, Arsenal 10. That's what it'll be.
Everton
repay the favour.
Everton
I'll worry about Everton.
Yeah, of course.
What the hell they've done, I don't know.
And Brentford away, I think, is going to be the only tough game.
Nah, I think we've learnt our lessons. They're not going to bully us again. You know, Ivan Toney, you might have thought he got away with bullying Ben White last time, but he's going to come up against a very different centre-half pairing this time. You know, Saliba's, he's a monster. And he's got skinhead Gabriel backing him up there. This is a very different centre half pairing now, and he's about to find out about it as well, because since he put that tweet out, you know what I mean, it's that we've all seen on Amazon, that we all saw it before Amazon. Like, they're very good on social media, Brentford, weren't they? Like messaging Brighton at the weekend, weren't they, saying we see you, you know, and it's. Having some banter about the Man United, you know, rerunning the goals going in and stuff like that. They're really good, but no, they don't surprise us no more. And they've got strengthened. They're weaker now, and I fancy us. I just fancy us. I back this team now, and I didn't for 3 years. I didn't back this team. I do back this team now. I just wanted to pick up on, you know, there's boys in the chat, so we want to get involved with them. They're talking about money in the chat there, and they're talking about Arsenal transfers in and out. So I've done an interesting comparison thing, if you don't mind, Dave, between Arsenal and Brentford, because I was thinking, surely our worlds are polar opposite, aren't they? You know, when you look at our ground in the centre of London, and you look at Bournemouth's,
the west of
real small, but a beautiful
nice
part of the south.
Nice
but it's small. Do you know what I mean? So I was thinking, I wonder what the comparisons are between our football clubs, and I looked at our net spends as a football club over the last 5 seasons, and Arsenal spent £443 million in the last 5 years, but we've recouped half of that, nearly £205 million. Sorry, Bournemouth have spent half of that, £205 million. But Arsenal have recouped £194 million, so nearly half of what they've spent, they've recouped. But Bournemouth, on the other hand, only 70, so less than half. So that's possibly where Bournemouth are not like Brighton. You know, Brighton are a fantastically run club, and they sell a player a season and generate cash and then reinvest it. Bournemouth don't like do
Cucurella, same thing.
They're not particularly well run, I don't think, Bournemouth, you know. And Arsenal's net spend is 250 million. Bournemouth have spent 33. But we generate, as a football club, per season about £500 million. That's where we are on the planet. And Bournemouth generate £150 million. And when you bear in mind that £120 million of that comes from the TV deal, it just goes to show you that they're not doing an awful lot off the pitch, Bournemouth, commercially, retailing. So that it gives you a sort of comparison of where the clubs are financially. So for people who talk about us losing a couple of quid, 22 million, I mean, I'll call it a couple of 22 million on Lacquer and Uber. You know, just remember that this football club is ginormous, and we can swallow things like that if it means getting a bad apple out of the club. So, yeah, don't get yourselves down too much about us losing. You know, we let Aubameyang go. It wasn't about money; it was about the attitude in the squad, and that was priceless.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, great point.
Yeah, so we're going to end up the show on this super chat from one of our regular listeners, Chaitanya. Seems like Pepe is on the move. What would be his ideal replacement as a right winger? We need a quality backup for Saka. Neto, he said, will be a great buy. And he said, cheers. So obviously, if Pepe does go on the move, and he seems like he is going to, ideal replacement. I mean, there was so many rumors floating around during obviously
they're going to have to get someone, Dave. My ideal player would be Zaha. I'll say that now. A year left of his contract.
Zaha's great,
but I just don't think that at 29 he fits the remit of what we're looking for, the profile. So it's a very, very difficult one to go there. I honestly think, and I'll be very, very disappointed if Arsenal are not busy in the next couple of weeks. Very, very disappointed if they're not. I think we're on this. You know, you imagine if we can get a couple of players in and be on 15 points instead of bringing in players when we're on no points, what the difference that will make to the season. If we buy a couple of players on the last week of the transfer window, when we're in a very, very good position. Over the years, and it's always been the other way around. We've got no points, or we're halfway down the league and we're making it. Let's make these players come to the club when we're right up there. It will make such a difference going into this season. I can tell you, please let it happen.
Yeah, I think that Pepe, if I just jump in, Dave, Pepe, I think we all saw already on a flight to Villarreal, didn't it? And it's that Pino, the young lad, bright talent from Villarreal. I think if we're...
It'd be someone like that.
It'd be someone like that as a young lad with a point to prove, with the right attitude. You'd have gone out there, met his representatives. That deal will be done, brokered, and all we've got to do is get Pepe out the door, which I have to say I'm slightly disappointed about, because in his first season under Unai, his stats were great. He looks a good player with a huge amount of potential, specifically from set plays. And I just think there's a little bit of, it may come down to attitude, and Arteta, he just will not manage players who have got a slight chink in their attitude armour. So I think it's a clash of manager versus player. I don't think it's an ability thing. I think Pepe will go on and have a decent career. I genuinely do, because I don't think he's a bad footballer, but he needs a manager who truly loves him, and Arteta's got no time for people like that.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I think it'll be, if we can get. They're talking about Lille, aren't they? For
Nice.
Nice. Talking about Nice for Pepe, and I think it'll be Pino the other way.
Hopefully, because Tottenham mentioned Neto from Wolves.
Yeah, well, I think the whole of Wolves squad's up for sale at the minute, isn't it? What the hell's going on? What's weird, isn't it?
True that. Well, guys, it's been eventful. Of course, we've had a blast on this podcast as usual. Lee, any extra?
No, that's it. I'm away on holiday now, so I'll be doing the next one probably from the swimming pool or something like that. So
we get to see Lee and his
speedos,
like, you know what I mean? So there you go, like, so with me beach wear. So the knee. Do you know what? I've had a good week with it. Like, it's gone down. I've had no pain with it, and everything's going really well.
What's like they pencil you in for a return to action for what, December?
I'm probably looking at another 6. Well, I reckon about 6 weeks. So, but I'm looking at, obviously with taking my age into consideration. Probably.
Yeah, I was going to say, so that you'll be back for your 80th birthday then.
8 to 10 weeks. So I'm looking at the beginning of October, probably like to come back. But I'm going to go away and already have a couple of weeks rest on it, and then I'm going to come back and start working on it. But so far everything really good at the moment. So
good man,
been a success. So I'm well happy.
Yeah. Mark, any extra thoughts you wanted to add to today's show?
No, I think I've bored everyone enough with my Bournemouth.
We're going to call it with cheese man statistics. I think that's
cheesy statistics.
Statistics.
Well, listen, one of us has got to do some research. You know, you're always messing around.
That's a thing now. Like, I'm going to have to do the cheesy statistics every week.
Cheesy stats. There you go.
Cheesy stats. That's it. The cheesy stats. That's what it's going to be like.
Cheesy stats. Everybody's
going to implement Mark's cheesy stats.
I'm glad we've had this team's meeting, brainstorming session live on air. That's been fantastic.
That's it.
That's always good, mate. It's always good. And myself, I will be at the Emirates, obviously, for Uncensored, the film Uncensored, for the next 3 home games at Fulham, Aston Villa, and Everton. Yeah, so we're going to be there. Lee, you're not going to be. Are you going to? You're going to be there at Fulham, Emirates.
I'm not there for the next 2 home games, so I miss Fulham.
Okay.
What happened was this holiday was supposed to be last year in the international break, but obviously it's now been put forward a year, and there's no international break, is there? Like, you know what I mean? So there you go. So
pretty crazy, yeah.
Pretty crazy. So I'm going to miss.
You're still going to be watching the team on your play. Come on.
Oh, of course. I'll be watching, and we've got 3 games which are all on TV, so I'll be watching them out there, and I'm back for the Man United game.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, have you two ever missed one Arsenal game watching it live on television or in the stadium?
No.
Out of curiosity.
Have I ever missed a game?
Yeah.
I have. Yeah, I had to. I took the kids. I said it on here. I had to take the kids to watch Clifford the Big Red Dog instead of, I mean, that's just the joys of being a parent, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But to be honest,
I'm actually for the Bournemouth game in on the plane. I'm on flight, so I don't know if I can get internet.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, so we're looking into it now, like, because our flight is 4:30. And it kicks off at 5:30. So
where are you flying to again?
Turkey. So I don't know what's going to happen.
4 hours. That'd be the first one you ever missed, Lee.
Yeah, first ever time. I've never done this before. Like, you know, I mean, I've missed games before, but you've always had like the TV or the something.
The radio,
or something like.
Always had the radio.
Giving you updates. But this is the only one.
Get someone in Turkey to record it for you and watch it live, like you were watching.
Oh, I could never do that.
Saying that, Lee,
could never do that.
You would be able to get like the old radio stations on your app, so you would be able to listen to it. You will. You won't miss it if you get your radio on your app.
I think you've got to get the internet by the internet or something, like, you know what I mean. So we're looking into it at the moment, like, you know what I mean. So we'll work something out.
So other lads in the chat chucking in some ideas for it. Anton Cheeseman.
Yeah,
cheddar stats. What's that other one
queso stats. El queso stats. I like that.
What's the El queso? What's that?
Queso in Spanish means cheese.
Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah, that sounds good.
El queso stats, mate.
I like it.
Statistics del queso.
Just DM Lee if you've got any more cheese puns. That'd be great.
Yeah,
flood his inbox.
If anybody knows how to get the commentary or get the games and information on a plane, let me know.
Yes.
Yeah, because there's a 4-hour flight, so you'll miss entirety of the game. Hopefully not. But no, but don't they? I'm sure they have TV on the plane, but I don't think they have live TV.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
He'll be turning left when he gets on that plane. Let's have it right. You've seen the way that geezer wangles himself in all sorts of places. Like, he's going to say, "Oh, it's Mr. Lee Judges. You're this way, sir." He'd probably be sitting next to the captain watching Sky Sports in the cockpit.
You know what? Do you know what they're gonna say? Lee Judges on this plane. Okay, but we have to get reception, so they're gonna try and fly it low enough.
So they can
get reception. Yeah,
delay the takeoff so that Lee can stay in the Weatherspoons at the airport for 2 hours just to watch the game.
So let's try and cancel the flight for at least 4 hours so Lee can watch the game at the airport.
Do you know when we went to I went to Dubai this year, they had the Champions League games live on the plane. So but this is not the Emirates. This is like, so
I think though they have special services on planes. So you find like Turkish Airlines or something like that.
I don't know who we're flying with as Emirates, like, you know what I mean. I think it's like, it's a package holiday. So
don't give that information away, Liz.
No.
Too personal. You have paparazzi at the airport and everything.
Yeah.
You've already said too.
Yeah, I don't want to.
You told them you're going to
the largest flight time.
He's told them the day, the flight time. He's told them the destination. Jesus, they're going to be everywhere.
Yeah, we don't want that. I want a quiet holiday, like, you know. Someone's saying VPN, so I'm going to try to get them up VPN, like, you know what I mean?
No, VPN is a
That's a visible panty line, mate.
No. No, VPN is a service where you use your internet and then basically it seems like you're in a different country, but that's not the thing. So basically, I think they would allow you to buy a package on the plane where you can watch football. I think so. There's going to have to be something.
They'd give it to him for free if he'd done a podcast.
So VPN doesn't work on the plane then, like it?
No, a VPN, no, but it won't work
Yeah,
anyway.
look,
You need to have
already,
internet.
someone's on the plane already, look. Someone's already said they're on the plane with you.
Yeah, G Mora said I'm on that flight. Yeah, Qatar Airways. Are you fine with Qatar Airways?
No, I'm not, unfortunately, like, you know what I mean? So.
First class, Lee, yeah? Hospitality judges.
I don't think they got a first class, like, you know what I mean? So there you go, like, you know.
Lee will bankrupt Lee Judges TV just to get the game in the airplane.
He will. You spend all of our Christmas bloody do money on getting a dodgy Turkish stream.
That's it.
Are you going to come back with a full head of hair, Lee? Is that why you're going to?
No. I'm certainly not like that.
You're going to come back like Gru.
No need for that, was there?
Like Gru from Despicable Me.
There's no need for that whatsoever. Like,
Is Robbie taking a secret flight with you to Turkey as well, so you can get a full of air there?
No, I don't know. I'm not. I'm
come back like easy top, the pair of them.
Yeah,
I'm not
There's a joke for the kids there, by the way. No idea who's easy top.
Guys, that's us with our fun and games. Wish Lee all the best on trying to find a bloody.
I will keep you updated and let you know next week what happened. Like,
if not, you can update. You probably get Wi-Fi for Twitter or something on the plane, so you can see the results by text.
Yeah. That's what I think I have to do. Try and get the Wi-Fi, and then like have someone like texting me, like i.e. Mark or you, telling me what's going on. Like, you know what I mean? So we'll find a way. We'll find a way.
We'll try. We'll. Okay, guys. Well, thanks so much for joining, guys. Much appreciated. Thank you to Lee Judges, of course. Thank you to Anton Cheeseman, Mark. El Queso de Cheese. Okay, and guys, cheesy stats. And guys, we'll see you next time. Take care, guys, and make sure you subscribe. Don't forget to check out BetVictor's video. Link is in the description, and we will see you next time for another edition of Lee Judges TV. Take care, guys.
Take care, guys.